Did you?
Hi guys, so today I'm going to look at the natal chart of Kanye West. It explains a lot. It explains and shows us why he behaves the way that he does, and also what his soul really wants him to achieve in this lifetime. So the areas in which he's supposed to be making massive amounts of personal growth. So thank you for joining me, and let's take a look. Kanye was born with the sun in Gemini. So the sun rules our identity, it's our ego, it's how we live our day-to-day lives and how we express ourselves. And when you have the sun in Gemini, you're really learning how to communicate in this life. So there's a huge focus on how you think and communicate. He also has his sun conjunct Jupiter, and anything that Jupiter touches, it expands. And remember that the sun rules our ego. So archetypes, the energies and archetypes are a spectrum. So it's up to us how we express it. There's the more evolved qualities and the less evolved qualities. So the more challenging and less evolved qualities of this placement can be an inflated ego, a narcissism, overconfidence, and that's all in the way that he thinks and communicates due to the Gemini energy. And if you look at this red line, that's an opposition. So that means there's a planet directly opposite. So that energy gets pulled in to this. And he has Neptune directly opposite. Neptune is super artistic, and it's in that fifth Leo house, which is incredibly creative. So he has these incredible creative artistic skills. Neptune rules poetry, music, film, any type of artistry and creativity. And that's also in Sagittarius, which rules religion. So his spiritual belief systems are a part of his creative and artistic expression, the way he communicates and thinks, and how he expresses himself. What are the lower qualities that can be expressed if he lets himself go there? Well, Sagittarius is truth and belief systems, and wherever we have Neptune, we can experience some delusion or confusion or illusion, and that's around truth, and that directly is expressed through the way he thinks and communicates. So again, that can be in relation to affecting or having this delusion of grandeur at times. Remember, he is Jupiter conjunct the sun, so wherever we have Jupiter is where we're supposed to be making huge amounts of growth and expansion, and that's how he thinks and communicates. He has his moon in Pisces. So our moon is our emotions. It's how we express our emotions. It's like that deep soul side of ourselves. The moon in Pisces is very sensitive. It's quite vulnerable, and it has these squares coming off of it. Squares are opportunities for growth through challenges. So his really emotional, sensitive, vulnerable feelings can have quite the effect on how he thinks and communicates, and it can trigger that inflated ego at times. So there's lessons, there's growth to be made there. He has his Mercury, which is how we think and communicate, in the 11th house, which is in its strength, it's in its exaltation, which means it's intelligent, it's inventive, it's innovative, it deals with technology, it's doing things that haven't been done in a certain way before. And he has that in Taurus. Taurus rules the beautiful voice. So he's finding new ways of being creative with his voice, with music, with technology, with how he makes money, his finances. It's often referred to as the genius, the Mercury in Aquarius or 11th house. It can have genius qualities due to that inventive thinking. He has his Venus in Taurus. Venus is our love language. So it's how we show someone that we appreciate or love them, and it's what we need to feel loved and appreciated. And he has it in Taurus, which is often gifting, if you've heard of the love languages. So thoughtful gifts. He would. I've seen it on the internet. I've seen him with these big elaborate displays of gifting the finest quality things to, say, his wife or his girlfriend. And that's in the 10th house, which is the Capricorn house, which really is the finest quality things. It's quality over quantity. Now, wherever we have Saturn, Capricorn, and the 10th house is where we're supposed to be making progress towards becoming more responsible. And he has Saturn in the first house, which is him as a person, which is him as a father, as a husband. Leo is involved, which is the family and children. He's supposed to be becoming more responsible in these areas. Also, it speaks of our career. So again, the Leo is like on stage in the spotlight, and it's incredibly creative. Capricorn rules his 7th house of relationships, so he's supposed to be becoming more responsible in his relationships and as a person, because Aries, which is the self, is involved with the 10th house, which is the Capricorn house, all about responsibility again. The North Node, which is like the most important part of a chart because it shows where the soul wants to make expansion and growth. This is where the soul wants to head in this life. And when you have the North Node in Libra, Kanye is really learning how to relate with others. So he's wanting to feel like loved and valued and a part of something, but he's also learning how to relate well, to be cooperative and like making room for the other person, having harmony in his relationships. And it's Pluto's in Libra as well, so he's meant to be really transforming the relationships in his life and having them becoming more harmonious. The 4th house is involved, so he's really becoming more in touch with his feelings in this life. So he's heading in the direction, or he's meant to be heading in the direction of being able to relate better in his relationships and the way that he conveys his feelings, and to really be a part of people in a situation where he feels valued and loved. And he can quite often sabotage himself because he has Mars up here with Venus, which is relationships, and the ruler of his North Node. Mars can trigger events. Chiron is also in the mix, which means he's supposed to be tidying up his relationships in this life, tidying up his career, his identity out in public, his status, and his reputation. The 10th house is also the reputation, how the world sees him. So there's healing in his relationships and his reputation, and the way he deals with his finances. It's all there. He's meant to be tidying up those areas of his life also. So yes, that is just a quick little look over Kanye West's chart. I mean, there's so much more, but we would be here for a very long time. So if you have any more questions, just put them in the comments and I'll reply as soon as I can. But I hope you enjoyed this reading, and thank you for listening.